Recently, someone asked me, how do I make sure that my emails stay clean and how do I do that automatically without having to go through each of those emails manually? Hi, my name is Uduka and welcome to the Microsoft 365 and AI series. I'm going to be your host for this entire series. My goal in this series is to help you use the tools that you use in your day-to-day work, but this time around, get the best out of them and get them to work for you. Every year, people complain about things like their tools not working the way that they want. But one thing I've really observed over time is that the tools are working, but we don't know the features within those tools and how to use them to our advantage. The essence of this series is to help you to get the value out of all of the tools that you have and get them to work for you. All through this series, I'm going to be doing just that. And today, we are starting with the most critical tool that we all use and we have to use every day, Outlook. If your organization has handed you a Microsoft 365 license, one of the important things you will do for yourself will be learning those tools and really learning them in a way that you can put those applications together to work for you. In today's series, in Outlook, I'm going to be showing you 3 features within Outlook to and elevate your work. Now, within Outlook, we always get tons of emails. It's something that happens to everybody, and the holidays are just over and we're all returning back to work. How do we make sure that important emails do not get lost in the How do we organize our emails? I want you to take a step back from all this application conversation and let's really look at our real life. This holiday, you may or may not have traveled, but think about a time in the most recent times when you had a very long journey and you returned. House is dusty, there are things that you need to clean up, but you're exhausted. Imagine that you're now given tools within your house that can help you take little commands and do that job for you. Within Outlook, there are 3 tools that I use to achieve this. Let's get into it. The first one is called Sweep. Sweep is a feature within Outlook that allows you to automatically organize your emails, doing things like deleting content, moving them to folders. You have different options that you can select from Sweep. An alternative to this that doesn't just run for one time is roles. Think about roles as having a tool within your house that you've given one command and it runs continuously on that command, executing the action. Now for Sweep will be the first time you come home and you organize things. So if you want to do it again, you have to organize them in their different boxes, delete, trash what needs to be trashed, things like that. Now for rules are more automated and they run continuously based off actions, exceptions that you define. The next thing that I use in combination with roles is what we call categories. Categories is a topic I'm going to really touch on later again, but think about categories as those boxes that you arranged when you came back, you cleaned your house. You want that, every time I want things to be moved to this corner and trashed, I want them to be tagged this way so that when I'm coming back to my kitchen, right? But you go to your kitchen and you see pepper. Maybe you got 10 varieties of pepper all through the holiday. And now you want to be able to remember what pepper is this. You tag them. What is related to. So you tag them. That's what categories do. Now, categories go beyond that. Aside tagging, this helps you with discovering your emails, right, in the future. It also cascades into other applications. Let's get into it and get your tools to work for you. Let me show you the 3 functionalities within Outlook that I use to tidy up things. Again, we're just starting the year. Before we go into this M365 series, I want to start from the very first tool that you use every day and help you to tidy up stuff. So let's tidy up our emails. Let's tidy up our emails like we'll tidy our house when we get in first, right? So you would just come into your house and you go sleep on dusty beds for health reasons, right? So even now for our mental health and our ability to work very well, let's tidy our Outlook before we go into the rest of this series. And 3 features, we're going to do just that. So now, if you're not already on the new Outlook, please look at the top of your screen, the right-hand corner, and turn on the new Outlook button. This is a very wonderful experience in the new Outlook, and I'm going to walk through the features gradually as we go on in this series. Now, like I mentioned, I have three functionalities within Outlook that I use to optimize and clean up my environment. The first one is rules. Now, if you look at my email, you will see tons of emails coming from Quoted. Now, I need to make sure that every time that an email comes in from Quoted, an action is being performed. However, just like you would walk in the first time, it's not everything in your house that you want to repetitively do. There are things that you just do once and for all. So there are emails that you just want to clean for once and you don't want anything continuously cleaning them. Cool. In instances like that, we use a functionality called sweep. What sweep does is just like you will walk into your house, you would sweep, tidy up the place. It allows you to perform specific actions of doing things like moving to your folder and all. So moving from files to the deleted folder, moving to peculiar folders. All right. So for sweep, we are going to now use the sweep action in this email box. So like I said already, I want to be able to use this sweep like one time just to do an action on specific emails. I have from Quoted, I have from different people that have sent me emails over the course of time. I have this one from Emily Excels, and I just want to clean it. Well, this is just the only time I want to clean it. I'm not really interested in cleaning it anymore per se. So now I'm going to use sweep on this email. Now, what am I going to do? How do we use sweep? Now it's grayed out at the top. So we need to select an email first. Now we are going to quickly go there and we're going to select what sweep. When you open up the option for sweep, it gives you several options that you can choose from. Move from, these are all the options that you have here. But me, I just want to move it into a folder that I would call Emily. And I would save it. And now, first of all, it creates my Emily folder. And now I can OK, and all the Emily files have gone there. Imagine that this is you trying to organize things coming from your manager, some projects that you were part of, but because you've gone on leave, everywhere is flooded with tons of emails and all. Now, I also do have another functionality I talked about, which is rules. I'm going to be using it on Quoted. For Quoted, I continuously receive these emails. I mean, one just popped up while we were here, right? So now I want to make sure that every time this email comes into my inbox, it gets categorized and it also gets moved into a folder. This is where I'm going to be combining two features at once. Categories, before I go into rules, are a way of tagging your files. How do we create categories? Which is what I'm going to be applying in with my rules to tag these emails and also do the action of moving them to a folder and do even additional actions of doing things like marking it as important. Categories, if you look at the top to your right of your screen here, if you're on the new Outlook, you're going to see all the categories you have. You also be reading red, blue, if you've not changed it before, different colors. So now you can go to manage categories. This opens up the categories option for you within your Outlook settings. So now you can edit them, you can delete them, you can customize them. I've customized mine into 3. These categories cascade into other tools outside your Outlook. And I'm going to be subsequently showing you how this brings value into your entire M365 experience and helps you to be the best version and the most efficient version of yourself, which is our core focus for this series. So now that you have this category set, you've set up your categories, come back and let's now work with the rules. Remember, we're working with Quoted and we want to make sure that, for me, I want to make sure that all my emails that are coming in from Quoted, they are moved into a folder. One, they are categorized. Why do I want to categorize it if I'm moving it into a folder? It helps to optimize your search experience. Now, if you look at my mailbox as well, there are some mails that are already categorized. That's because I want that even if I don't move them into folders per se, I want specific kind of content to get a tag, right? We can use rules to achieve that. So let's go straight into creating the rule for Quoted. Remember, first of all, I said I want to create a folder. So I'm just going to right click on this and I can see the rules here. Or I can just click on this and again go to the top and I'll see rules here and I'll create rule. Now for me, I don't like to keep my box just like this. I like to click on more options to see the broader page. Now it already gives me a name based off the mail that I selected for all emails coming from Quoted. Well, you can change this I change some of them that I would see once I leave the screen. And then you can set up conditions. Conditions are a way of saying, oh, if it's from this person, if this particular if this particular condition is met, or if I'm on the toll line, if the subject contains this type of message, if this and that, what should we do next? So you're defining the core things that it should go check for to be met before it moves forward. So I've already added the condition I'm interested in. I'm more interested in the actions. What should you do once you get a mail from Quoted? First of all, move it into a folder. And I'm going to create the folder just like I did. And I already have a folder that's called partner files. I can also go and create a new folder if I want, but let's use partner files. Or let me just create a new one and name it Quoted files. Create new folder and I will name it what? Quoted. And let's name this Quoted. And then we're going to save. You can go on and add another action. Now this time I want you to mark it as important, right? And I just want you to have a high importance because Quoted is a very critical thing for me. It's work that I'm doing on some project, or it's something is very important to your team or to something. But or probably you can use this also in a scenario where, you're going on leave, you want to redirect emails that meet some conditions and also perform actions like redirecting it to somebody else. You have options like redirect, forward to, you have different options that you can use. So I'm just going to go to categorize and I would select the operations category. And now you see that as I keep adding more actions, the box keeps opening up for me. Then we have exceptions. Maybe there's an exception that you want if this kind of thing happens, maybe if I'm in the tool, if the sensitivity is this, if the message size is this small, if this and that, maybe probably forget about executing this rule, right? Cool. Now I'm going to stop processing rule because there's no conflicting rule. And if you want to really read more about this, you can just click on the help icon here and you can read more about this and how it really applies. So now I'm just going to go and click on run rule now. Now, this takes us back to my rule page. You can see I have different types of rules that are already running on this Outlook box. Now, you see that if we go out of that page, it's automatically moving stuff. So let's go into the Quoted folder and see what's happening there. You see it's moving and also tagging them and categorizing them. Now, how are we going to, while this is still running, let's see how we're going to use these categories in our Outlook box. Now, in my inbox, I want to search through my emails. You can sort your emails by different things, categories, flags, importance, all of those things. Categories are a way of you to still also set your email. So if I select the categories, all the 3 categories I have created will show up for me, right? So I have this critical and I can see all the files that I've marked as critical and quickly just see them. So if you want to probably just run a rule that tags things for you, accordingly, then yeah, you can also do as such, and then it helps you with your filtering in Outlook. These categories also extend to other features, and I'll talk to it in our subsequent series. I hope that this has helped you to put together and organize your Outlook. We're going to be working now with the data that we have within Outlook and AI, and I'll show you 4 easy prompts that I use to organize myself and how I use Outlook with Copilot. See you in our next set of series. And again, I remain